Welcome back, brave souls, to Sinister Snapshots, where nightmares come to life and darkness lurks. A nun commits the ultimate sin to save mankind from a great evil. Join us on this ghostly tour around the Abbey of St. Carta, where this great evil originates. Kindly leave a thumbs up and subscribe to our dark adventures so you don't miss out on any of our dark tales. The movie begins in 1952 at the Abbey of St. Carta in Romania. Two nuns, Sisters Victoria and Jessica, encounter a demonic presence behind a forbidden door. Sister Jessica goes in and is attacked by the demon, and she warns Sister Victoria to run. Sister Victoria runs into a room and says a prayer before she takes her own life. Her body is found by a local named Maurice, fondly known as Frenchie. Later, Father Burke is assigned to investigate Sister Victoria's death, accompanied by Sister Irene. Irene questions why she was chosen and is told it's due to her familiarity with the area, and she reveals she's never even been to Romania. Frenchie, a local, agrees to guide them to the Abbey, which the town considers cursed. Father Burke's primary objective is to investigate supernatural phenomena, and his secondary objective is to determine if the Abbey's grounds are still holy. Upon arriving at the Abbey, French reveals he preserved the dead nun's body in the ice house and expresses his surprise at seeing a nun there for the first time. They find the body sitting up, but Frenchie insists he has left it laying down. Father Burke takes the key in the nun's hand and they give her a proper burial. Inside the Abbey, they find the candles lit and the head nun, Abbess, who seems unresponsive to their questions. She agrees to let them stay the night but remains covered in a black cloth. Frenchie departs, and as the night falls, he sees ghostly nuns, one of whom hangs herself. After the horrifying encounter with the possessed nun's body, Frenchie runs away in fear. Later, over dinner, Irene and Father Burke discuss their past experiences with visions and possessions. Father Burke reveals a tragic incident involving a possessed boy named Daniel, for which he feels responsible. That night, Father Burke wakes up after hearing noise from a radio, leading him to encounter the ghostly spirit of Daniel, who vomits a snake that chases him. He falls into an open casket, only to discover his name on the gravestone, leaving him unnerved. At the convent, Sister Irene wakes up feeling a presence and begins searching. Unaware, she misses the demon nun standing in the distance. However, she spots a shadow behind a cross, which manifests in a mirror before disappearing. When she turns around, she finally sees the demon nun's face and attacks her. Sister Irene manages to escape and rushes to the graveyard, where she hears the bells attached to Burke's casket ringing. The demon manipulates all the bells on the gravestones, but Irene channels a vision and finds Father Burke's correct gravestone. Using a nearby shovel, she digs him out just as a demon grabs him from within the casket. They discover bones and several books inside the casket, which they hope will help them uncover the truth of what's happening. The next morning, Father Burke and Sister Irene return to the Abbey and find fresh blood on the steps. Father Burke gives Irene the key taken from Sister Victoria's body and sends her to find the abbess alone. Sister Irene finds Sister Ruth praying in a chapel and approaches her, but is stopped by Sister Owana, who tells her that they must not stop praying for even a second. Then they leave together. Meanwhile, Frenchie is back in town and learns that a woman's daughter committed suicide by hanging. The townspeople believe the evil from the Abbey is affecting the town. Back at the Abbey, Father Burke discovers a drawing of the demon Valak, also known as the Defiler, the Profane, and the Marquis of Snakes. After saying the demon's name aloud, the door behind him closes, separating him from Sister Irene and the rest of the Abbey. Inside the Abbey, Sisters Owana and Irene discuss Sister Victoria's death, but Owana informs Sister Irene that the other sisters don't want them talking due to privacy concerns. She then shares the Abbey's history, revealing that it was built by the Duke of St. Carta in the Dark Ages to summon something from hell. In a flashback, we see the Duke conducting witchcraft rituals and successfully opening a gateway to hell. The church's armies intervened, killed the Duke, and sealed the gateway with a relic containing the blood of Christ. Nuns were enlisted to pray perpetually to keep the evil contained, and it worked until bombs during the war cracked the gateway. Sister Irene tells Owana about the nun she saw the previous night. Sister Owana confirms that all the nuns have seen her, which they fear means the demon has escaped. Sister Abigail arrives and instructs Owana to go do her prayers. She also tells Sister Irene to leave, but Owana explains that they can't open the gate until the next day. Sister Owana then leads Irene to the same room where Sister Victoria jumped out of the window. As Father Burke looks at the map of the Abbey, trying to find an alternate route around the gated door, he hears the abbess speaking behind him. He turns around and sees her sitting there. The abbess tells him that although the Abbey has a dark past, they have repented. Burke asks about the key they found with Sister Victoria, but the abbess cryptically replies that it's too late and that Sister Irene is lost. Suddenly, she falls limp on the chair, and Father Burke's candles go out. As he reaches over to check on her, the abbess's veil is lifted, revealing her dead, decayed, and withered arm reaching out to grab him. Startled, Father Burke jumps back and the arm breaks off easily, still holding on to him. He removes the arm and throws it on the ground, but when he looks up, the abbess has vanished. Later, during a storm, Sister Irene wakes up from a disturbing vision where she sees herself dead or possessed. She notices a praying nun at the other end of the room, but as she approaches, the nun vanishes, and she witnesses the spirit of Sister Victoria reenacting her fatal jump out of the window. The door to the room opens, and Sister Irene catches a glimpse of the demon nun at the end of the hall, although it disappears quickly. Then, she hears a voice calling her to follow. Sister Irene wanders the halls until she comes across the ominous God Ends Here door seen earlier. The door opens on its own, extinguishing her candle, and Valak appears, trying to pull Sister Irene inside. Although the door closes, Valak breaks through and gives chase to Sister Irene. Sister Owana saves Irene by pulling her into a small opening and instructs her to grab her belongings and meet her in the chapel, as they believe praying is their only refuge from this growing evil. When Sister Irene reaches the chapel, she finds Sister Abigail praying beside a dead body. In the chapel, Sister Irene discovers a dead Owana with crucifixion wounds on her hands. Meanwhile, Father Burke is led by the ghost of Daniel to a crypt, which then transforms into Valak. Back in the chapel, an army of 9 possessed nuns enters and barricades the door. Sister Ruth instructs Irene to keep praying no matter what she sees or hears. The nuns are violently thrown across the room, but Sister Irene continues to pray despite the disturbing events. Meanwhile, Father Burke makes his way towards the deliveries room, where Frenchie had mentioned an entrance to the Abbey. However, he is blocked by a zombified Sister Victoria. Fortunately, Frenchie arrives with a shotgun and saves Father Burke by decapitating the zombie. In the chapel, the 3 surviving nuns return to their praying positions, and Sister Irene continues to pray, despite being attacked by the demon. Valak carves a pentagram on her back while she holds her ground in prayer. Sister Irene is inside the chapel when they hear knocking on the door. Irene decides to open it, and Father Burke and Frenchie enter. To their surprise, they find the room empty except for the dead body of Sister Owana. They come to a shocking revelation that all the nuns they've encountered in the Abbey were long dead spirits, and Sister Victoria was the last living nun who sacrificed herself to prevent the demon from escaping. They realize that the demon needs a physical body to be free. After performing an exorcism on the possessed corpse of Sister Owana, they prepare to enter the catacombs to find a relic that can seal the evil and stop the demon from wreaking further havoc. In the catacombs, they find a relic containing the blood of Christ with the help of a hidden door revealed by the statue of Mary. Father Burke puts the relic around Sister Irene's neck, and they proceed to the gateway beyond the God Ends Here door. Inside the catacombs, they get separated and each are haunted by the demon. Sister Irene ends up in a room surrounded by candles and a pentagram, where she is seemingly possessed by Valak. Frenchie breaks in and tries to save her, but Demon Irene overpowers him and prepares to shoot him with his shotgun. But before she can shoot, Frenchie uses Christ's blood to free her from the demon's control. They try to escape, but Valak attacks them. Burke arrives and is attacked by the ghost of Daniel. Valak chokes Frenchie till he passes out and attempts to drown Sister Irene. Father Burke tries to perform an exorcism on Valak, but the demon throws him aside. Sister Irene manages to get the relic underwater and bites the glass to release the blood. She pretends to die, and when Valak lifts her, she spits the blood on its face, causing it to burn away and seal the gateway at the same time, as some of the blood drops in the water right above the cracked gateway. Sister Irene falls unconscious into the water, but Frenchie saves her. The next morning, they celebrate their victory and leave the abbey. As they ride off, an upside-down cross appears on Frenchie's neck. 20 years later, the Warrens' presentation of an exorcism shows Frenchie in the footage as the victim. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification button so you don't get left behind when we embark on our next frightful tale.